wave of COVID-19 cases surfacing in the Bahamas, with more family islands being impacted. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDon Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. And as always, it's so great to have you waking up with us. Health officials confirmed late last night that the COVID-19 cases in the country has surged to 194, with 20 additional cases recorded on Tuesday alone. Among the numbers are 2 new cases over in Cat Island and 2 more COVID-19 cases in Bimini. In Grand Bahama, the numbers now stand at 69 and 107 in New Providence. Health officials indicated that they were unable to confirm further details of the new cases at this time, but assured the public that investigations and contact tracing is underway. Currently, the number of COVID-19 cases in Bimini seeing the first jump in months. That island's COVID-19 case has stood at 13, but has now climbed to 15. This comes after Bimini was required to undergo a 2-week lockdown, with health officials initially reporting a successful curb of the virus on that island. Bimini, we should remind you, also recorded the country's first COVID-19 death earlier this year. Also, we said earlier, Cat Island is the latest community to be hit by COVID-19, with 2 residents testing positive for the disease. Administrator Neil Campbell says that the 2 residents were transported to the capital over the weekend after showing symptoms, and they are now tracking those who may have been in contact with those victims.
We've initiated all of our protocols, and we're now creating and devising some lists reference to contact tracing. Putting numbers with names and their locations, and we're also looking at their travel into Cat Island, out of Cat Island. We've spoken to the local airline, and also calls have already been made to 1 or 2 persons reference to coming in. So some information can be gathered, or some possible testing. So far, I think there's a lot of talk within the community. But we're saying that persons thus far, they're really being very, very cooperative.
The administrator is appealing to residents to follow the safety protocols now in place.
He's also stating at this time that there's zero tolerance in reference to those COVID-19 orders for the Cat Island district. And indeed, we're asking them to be very, very cooperative. Once health professionals would have made contact, for them to please adhere to whatever they would have been saying. And we will continue to do the best we can within our means, wherever is humanly possible. And we also ask for their prayers at this time, as we ask for the prayers of our whole entire country.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force also confirming that a number of persons or officers here in New Providence has tested positive for COVID-19. A release confirms that the individual has been admitted for medical care, and the force's medical team is currently conducting intensive contact tracing to confirm other members who may have been exposed and recommended for self-quarantine. Meantime, Grand Bahama's domestic borders shut down at midnight as that island prepares for a 2-week lockdown. Its international borders will close today to all incoming and outgoing sea vessels, with the exception of emergency cases, and to transport essential goods and services. With just hours before the lockdown, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, assures support for Grand Bahamians.
The government of the Bahamas will do all that it can to assist those in need of help during this 2-week lockdown. The National Food Distribution Task Force and the Department of Social Services are making arrangements to ensure that food needs will be met during the lockdown. It is anticipated that food vouchers will be distributed to approximately 14,000 residents. Additional support, security, and enforcement of the lockdown will be provided by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, assisted by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. Various measures are being taken to ensure the safety of essential workers on the island, including the use of PPEs. Health officials will respond to any health-related matters about this lockdown. A lockdown like this is not something that would have been preferred. but it is absolutely necessary because things will get even much worse on Grand Bahama if we don't take strong measures at this time and stop the spread of this COVID-19 disease.
Describing the lockdown as an emergency situation, the Prime Minister is urging Grand Bahamians to prepare for the measures and for their support.
I know that a measure like this even further disrupts daily life and economic activity. But today, we are in an emergency situation. We must work now to stop the spread of this virus on Grand Bahama before it gets even worse and completely out of control. Time is of the essence. I ask the residents of Grand Bahama to cooperate with health and other officials to prepare for the lockdown and to adhere to these measures over the next 2 weeks.
On a wider scale, the country will see a ban on commercial flights entering the Bahamas from the United States effective at midnight. The move comes in wake of those alarming COVID-19 cases in the United States. However, Prime Minister Minnis clarifies the regulations regarding other international flights and yachts entering this country.
International commercial flights and commercial sea vessels with passengers will not be permitted to enter the Bahamas except for commercial flights from Canada, the United Kingdom, and the European Union. Private international flights and charters, pleasure cruise, pleasure crafts, and yachts will continue to be permitted to enter the Bahamas with the exception of Grand Bahama from all countries, including the United States of America.
Stay close, the Morning Edition is back right after this.
Are you in a fight against debt? Or maybe you need financing for additional expenses? BOB is ready to fight for you. We are ready to rumble and help you knock out debt with the lowest consumer loan rates in the Bahamas on debt consolidation and easy top-up consumer loan. With BOB in your corner, debt doesn't stand a chance. Apply today for your BOB Easy Top-Up or Debt Consolidation Loan. Call 397-3000 or email us at loans@bankbahamas.com. BOB, your bank of solution.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
We Buy You Sell offers the best in impact windows and doors. The first line of defense in protecting your home and family with premium designs and affordable pricing. We can make your dream home a reality. We also stock a wide variety of tiles such as porcelain, mosaic, and plank tiles. We offer the lowest rates in the country. Located at number 163 Robinson Road. Call 677-2856 or 324-6427. We Buy You Sell. Come and see us today.
Relax, enjoy, savor, unwind, and exhale, knowing we've got you covered every step of the way. Find out why we pride ourselves on being the largest and oldest insurance agency in the Bahamas. Log on to jsjohnson.com for more information and like us on Facebook. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Hi, welcome to Dream Girls. We offer a wide variety of hair care, and your everyday beauty needs.
Here at Dream Girls, we carry a wide variety of products for natural or relaxed hair, such as ORS, Care, and Shea Moisture. We also carry a large selection of weaving, braiding, and crochet hair. You can expect to find a private wig room, a large variety of products, and service with a smile. Whether you're shopping for a party, a corporate event, or your everyday working woman, Dream Girls can make your dream become a reality. Live your dream, experience your dream, Dream Girls.
We have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Village Road Shopping Center, Prince Charles Shopping Center, and Legacy Plaza located on Prince Charles next to BTC Cash and Go. Here at Dream Girls, enhancing beauty becomes your reality.
We now head on out to our streets where our Charles Fisher is standing by with your morning traffic commute.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning. Yes, I'm Charles Fisher standing in for Lloyd Allen. We are here at Shirley and Parliament Street. We're joined this morning by 3296 Corporal Delancey. Corporal Delancey, thanks for getting up early this morning with the morning edition.
Good morning, Bahamas, and you're welcome.
Overnight traffic, tell us about that.
We had a total of 18 accidents within the last 24-hour period, 13 of which were accidents with damage only, 5 of which were accidents with injuries. We have a total of 19 hospitalized accident victims. 3 are in ICU, 3 are children, 1 is in critical condition.
Do you notice at any specific time these accidents are occurring?
We have taken note that nearing the end of curfew, we had a spike in accidents. Okay, we're asking you just to give yourself enough time to get to your desired location or to your home. Obey the traffic signs and the traffic light and drive with the utmost due care and attention.
Now, we're here on Shirley Street and Parliament Street. Bay Street is right north of us. Parking on Bay Street. Who are allowed to park on Bay Street during this time?
Okay, we have authorized and unauthorized parking along Bay Street. If you find yourself in an area that is clearly marked with yellow lines and it's labeled taxi cab stand or loading zone or bus stop, those are unauthorized parking for private vehicles. If you find yourself in an area clearly marked with white lines, that is authorized parking for private vehicles.
Buses, back on the street now for 2 weeks. I'm a passenger. I haul up. Bus stop. Am I allowed to stop anywhere on Bay Street?
As a bus driver, you are most certainly not able to stop just anywhere on Bay Street, okay? You are only able to unload and offload passengers in the area clearly marked bus stop.
3296 Corporal Delancey joining us this morning here for the morning traffic. Pretty good job. Thanks a lot. Back to you in the studio, LaDon.
Thanks a lot, Fisher. Meanwhile, there's a new wave of COVID-19 cases brewing across the country. This spike in cases is sounding an alarm for healthcare workers who say there are several concerns in fighting the war on this deadly virus, which need to be addressed as soon as possible.
We have seen the number of cases increase significantly in country, and in particular Grand Bahama, which has caused concern, as it should, for all of us in the Bahamas, including our Prime Minister, and there would have been some changes recently to reflect that. We are concerned not only because of the cases of COVID that have been impacting our Bahamian persons and our population, but also because we continue to have persons without COVID who are in our healthcare system. And so we know that already having a system that's burdened to now have this increase in cases, that is something that we have to look at seriously.
How prepared can you say healthcare workers in terms of, I guess, being able to serve or, I guess, to go above and beyond to ensure that persons, are COVID-free?
So, I mean, as a healthcare worker and the other physician staff, nurses, auxiliary staff in the hospital, sure, we try our best to make sure that we practice all those safety protocols that we put in place and encourage persons to continue to do things such as wearing a mask, practice social distancing. If you are sick, please remember to stay in quarantine. And certainly as we talk about persons coming back home into country, if you know that you have either not been tested or have been tested or have been in contact with anyone or been in a region that has high COVID numbers or has cases, you should be a responsible citizen of this country as well and make sure that you protect yourself and the others of us who are here trying our best to stay as safe as we can during this time. And so we're concerned that as we have had Bahamians coming home, Bahamians traveling for shopping purposes and other purposes who have come back in country, who have not been tested, who are to quarantine and may not be within the realms of which they need to be, we want to really encourage you to please remember to be responsible and to please protect yourselves, your families, and the rest of us in the country.
And I know healthcare workers have been on the front line from day one, for months now, working hard, I guess, at the hospital and other medical facilities as well. What have they been saying to you about their brush on the front line? Are they actually overworked?
So I know a lot of healthcare workers are experiencing burnout. It was inevitable because, as you rightfully said, we've been at this from March and before March in preparations and trying to make sure that we were able to care for persons who came into our institution. Some persons have not been able to take vacations, not been able to get adequate rest. We also had shortages and have had those things from before. We've known before that we did not have sufficient staff, and certainly we have also lost some of the other physicians recently as well, our junior physicians, who are also needed and were certainly vital in our fight with COVID-19. And so, yes, we are concerned. Certainly, we would like to be as prepared as we can. The more rested you are, obviously, your immune system would be able to fight off diseases and other things that we come in contact with just by nature of what we do. So we really, really want to stress to our Bahamian population as well as to our Ministry of Health. We know that we've recently now have a new Minister of Health. We again ask the government to please engage us. We have not been engaged as we should. And we are the persons that continue to hold the fort down. So we are definitely concerned about that.
With a number of companies making strides to create a successful vaccine, Director of the National HIV and AIDS and Infectious Disease Program, Dr. Nakia Forbes, is cautiously optimistic about the vaccine becoming available, although she does not believe any will be available before year's end. Moderna has been one of the standout companies set to move to phase 3 of its testing on humans by the end of the month with some 30,000 candidates. Moderna has improved to the stage after phase 2 of its trial sparked an immune response in participants.
A faster response in vaccinology so that we can get a way to prevent this. So phase 3 is certainly moving along. They've got a couple more phases to go. And we look forward to having a vaccine that will work. I still don't think that will happen before the end of this year or early 2021.
Forbes had this to say about the progress made so far.
When we think about a vaccine, what does that do? That protects people who are non-immune, they've not been exposed, and can prevent them from being infected with an infectious threat when they're exposed and at risk for exposure. So that's what a vaccine does. Until that point, for most populations, we're still very susceptible to getting COVID-19. Most of us here in the Bahamas have not gotten COVID-19 yet.
Now, Forbes says she is cautiously optimistic, adding, though, that an ounce of prevention when it comes to the virus is better than a cure. Now, in the wake of the Grand Bahama shutdown and spike in COVID-19 cases, the Ministry of Education is temporarily suspending the Bahamas Junior Certificate, BJC, and the Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education examinations effective immediately. The Ministry of Education advises students to continue their preparations for these crucial examinations as they will be held at a later date in accordance with the advice of the competent authority guided by Ministry of Health officials. The Minister of Education is expected to make a further announcement on the matter in the House of Assembly sometime today. Sandals at Emerald Bay in Exuma taking another hit from COVID-19. Its general manager, Jeremy Mutton, has confirmed that the resort will be closing its doors temporarily after only reopening earlier this month. Its website states that due to recent travel restrictions implemented by the government in suspending U.S. commercial flights, the Emerald Bay Resort will reopen at a later date. Hundreds are employed at that facility. John Bull reducing its staff complement by 15% in a statement issued today. John Bull officials say with over 60% of its locations closed for business and a devastating blow to this company's revenue, it is with a heavy heart and with great regret that the company must make this move. Now, according to this statement, with the announcement of delayed cruise ship arrivals, along with uncertain reopening dates for local resorts, some very tough decisions are necessary to secure the company if they intend to have a future in retail beyond their 91-year legacy. Going into the pandemic, John Bull's team members were extended full salary throughout the first few weeks of the emergency powers during a time when all the company's locations were closed. This scenario was not sustainable, and in the ensuing weeks, the company eventually extended payments to each employee representing up to 50% of their salary. John Bull remains hopeful and prayerful that things will turn around sooner rather than later to avoid continued economic fallout for our company and our nation. The ongoing economic challenges associated with COVID-19 are continuing to unfold, but according to one industry expert, both depositors and borrowers must understand the current climate in order to survive changing tides. Here's Lloyd Allen.
The decision to watch and wait remains a very real option for many banks whose future remains uncertain. Chief Financial Officer at Fidelity Bank and former chairman of the Bahamas Clearing Banks Association, Gowan Bowe, says a new day has dawned in the financial lending market as the ongoing pandemic has created new challenges to the market. He says the goal is to not only protect depositors, but to tighten loan availability, primarily to approve applications to those who show greater potential to repay despite current circumstances.
It's a balancing act because you want the borrowers to get back to stability because they need to pay back what they borrowed so that the depositors and the shareholders get made whole. We look at banks very one-sided. So we look at, forget the depositor shareholder side. We look at the bank as being the institution that's doing the lending. And so why y'all can't be lenient, why you can't be why you can't give a break? Why can't you do it? But who am I giving the break to?
With more than $1.8 billion in loan deferrals reported by the Central Bank of the Bahamas recently, Bowe says while such news is concerning for banks, many would rather discuss repayment options than forego the possibility of foreclosures or even prosecution.
There's no point in me putting you into bankruptcy because then I don't get any money back, and so there's nothing with ones there. Equally, I can't forgive. So I have to work with you in order to get you to understand that, yeah, your payments are going to be stretched out, but you still have an obligation and don't lose sight of it.
As for depositors and shareholders, Bowe cautions, temper your expectations.
Because the interest rates I can give to a depositor are going to be pressed. The shareholder return is going to be reduced, right? Ideally, you don't want to turn losses because, again, if you invest $1, are you wanting someone to say, here's back 95 cents? Now, you don't mind hearing 115, but you don't want to hear 95 cents.
The bottom line, according to Bowe, today's loan market is not a borrower's paradise. However, continued confidence in regulatory prudence is the one silver lining for depositors. Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Stay close. We've got more right after this.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory, your partners for quality health care, East Avenue, Centerville, just below Centerville Food Store. Bonaventure Medical Lab offers confidentiality and comfort while making your lab experience pleasant and relaxing. Our experienced staff gives service with a smile. We accept all major credit cards and insurance co-payments.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory is now open in the Sandyport Plaza, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Centerville location is open daily, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1.
When we talk about Bahamians, we talk about a diverse people with very different dreams and goals. What we have in common, what makes us truly Bahamian in our hearts and in our souls, is our love of this beautiful country, our faith in the Almighty God, and our unshakable belief that we are each our brother's keeper. Happy anniversary of independence, Bahamas. From your family at Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Make the switch to Pennzoil. Purchase a quart or more of any Pennzoil lubricant at any Shell station, and you could win $250 from BPL or from Kelly's. You count on your car. Keep your engine clean and responsive with Pennzoil. And when you purchase a quart or more of any Pennzoil product at any Shell service station, you could win a $250 gift certificate from BPL or from Kelly's. Ask for Pennzoil at your favorite Shell. Promotion runs until August 12th.
It may be the living room or dining table. Some of life's most valuable moments happen at home. And with the unmatched value of a BTC bundle, you'll discover how fun home can be. Get a triple play bundle for great savings on the best internet to learn from home, Flow TV for the best entertainment with the family, and home phone with overseas and unlimited local calls for as low as $99.99. Discover how home should be with BTC. Conditions apply.
I'm free to live my life, yeah, yeah. Free to be me, yeah. The way I want to be. Doing the things that I want to do. With my family and my crew. Styling all the way through. 'Cause I got it covered. BAF has got me covered. I'm free to lie on the beach and stare at the sky. Working hard at what I feel. Check my new wheels, just relax with that stripe. Make my girl my wife. I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life. Yes, I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life. For life, yes, I'm living my life, hey, BAF for life. For life, BAF has got you covered.
The National Insurance Board continuing its push towards digitalizing as it seeks to improve customer service and protect clients in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. NIB Director Dr. Nicola Virgil-Rose says NIB is constantly enhancing its digital platform.
We've been trying to really move away from checks as we move with the digitization of NIB, and so we're looking at new ways to pay people, which avoids also, and very importantly, in a COVID context, many people coming into the offices and being in spaces with lots of people. We do a lot more of our interactions now via email, and so we have UED resolution, for example, email address where we actively monitor in order to deal with questions. And so we've been trying to give new outlets for people to interact with NIB.
On Monday, NIB launched this new online portal which allows eligible persons to register for the government-funded unemployment benefit extension program online. The NIB director says the unemployment scheme is a major priority for NIB.
We have processed just over 35,000 people for the unemployment benefit, paying out just over $71 million in benefit payments. And so that is a few years' worth of unemployment work normally. And so we had to really reposition some of our staff in other areas and reprioritize the unemployment benefit program to make sure people got through the program and got their benefits in as short a time as possible.
In late June, it was sadly reported that retired police pop band member Noel Adderley Johnson, also known as the singing policeman, passed away at home. In this story, Lloyd Allen speaks with members of his family who says his gift touched many and that his love for music and the family will live on in their hearts forever.
He was devoted to me and I was devoted to him.
Noel Adderley Johnson, better known as the first singing policeman, made his exit from this world a few weeks ago. But according to his wife, Leah, he was a man like none other from the time the two first met more than 50 years ago in Eleuthera. She says he worked in several areas before settling as a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band. And once there, he found his love for life.
That's when it first started at road traffic. Valentine, he would come and perform to me, and that happened for years, and all the persons who was there, they were excited during that particular time on Valentine's Day, because he would leave from my workplace, go to Salinas, and perform.
Over the years, those performances were celebrated as it helped to showcase the gift of a humble Eleutheran man. Leah says as a professional policeman, her husband's performances were legendary, going as far back as the heyday of the Gombe Festival.
He had a lot of careers. It's so many that I could hardly recall at this time, but I had felt very proud of his performance, especially during the Gombe Festival, and also he was in the pop band. He did a lot in the force and all the different entertainments he had done. The police force had stood out very well in his life.
Throughout his extensive career, Noel, or Eddie Lee, as he is known by many, became a signature component of the Royal Bahamas Police Pop Band, and as inspiration to many he came in contact with.
As he always said, you know, if something were to happen to him, his love was so strong for the police force till nothing couldn't take the place out of his life when it comes to the police force band.
Apart from his career, Johnson was also an important figure in his family. His granddaughter, Danica, reflects on a fond memory.
It was always my unforgettable. Before he passed, me and him had this, you know, he was a singing policeman, and I can't sing as good as him, but there was one time me and him was in the car and we was singing this favorite song from Nat King Cole, Unforgettable, and we sang from there. So, you know, I could always, and I would never forget, he has always been my unforgettable. So that's memories that would leave for. In
May 2020, Johnson was told that her husband would have to be admitted to a hospital due to the severity of his condition, but she chose to nurse him at home, and she feels it was that decision that allowed the family one final month with Noel.
I made my bed on the floor to sleep near him. When he breathed, I would know he breathed. And sometime through the night, I would see him raising his hand to heaven. And I would hold his hand. I would, every minute, when I hear him toss, I would raise his hand to heaven. I said, Hadley, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for seeing a new brand day.
Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Now, there will be no more beaching, at least for now. The Prime Minister announced beach closures in New Providence began this past Monday as COVID-19 cases spiked. Here's Keishla Adderley.
Sun, sand, and selfies. A second wave of COVID-19 ended it all.
Because I feel as if this could be the last day, like the beach could be open. Because people ain't following the rules as in wearing masks and stuff like that, so yeah.
That turned out to be true on Sunday past, and Paige Duncombe was also glad she got her beach day in just in time.
It's hot. The sun, and you see my color. It is hot, and the water is just so cool. And that's why I really enjoy my day on the beach today.
On the weekend, COVID-19 cases soared by 49. Since then, total cases have exploded to 174. The 3-week window of opportunity, June 29th through July 19th for beaching, closed for now. The conversation surrounding the closure, again, floating to the surface.
In some ways, it's a good choice because I don't want to catch this and I know 1 or 2 days in a week or something we make. That's it. Life end.
I think it should be the opposite. I think, but we should learn how to manage it. I was just swimming just now, and I thought one idea I had would be, like, I'm sure there are like unemployed lifeguards. Why doesn't the government hire some lifeguards, put them here, and you know how at resorts they whistle if you go on the rocks. Well, you whistle if people get too close.
Yeah.
So have monitoring.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott Davidson took the opportunity early to travel to the Bahamas from Virginia. By Sunday, he was on alert for the possible border closing.
I mean, I feel like I'm very fortunate to be able to, get here. But I think, that's a decision that I don't really know much information about. I don't think, I'm the one, but I can certainly give you my opinion. And I think that, if they feel that that's necessary and they want to protect their people, and I think that's something that, should happen. And it doesn't have to happen forever. But I think just playing it safe I think we're going into the fall. We're going to have the regular flu. We're going to have a lot of other stuff going on. So I think just, playing it safe and trying to keep it down as much as possible because we don't know about the future. Well, I'm assuming with the borders being closed, I still will be able to, be here until I'm planning to leave on Thursday. So I don't feel like I'm going to be having to get pushed out, right? So for me, I'm just going to kind of continue to do what I do, just, focus on myself, work out, read, work on my business, and then just get back to the States and get back to my family.
Davidson's departure was perhaps moved up as the final commercial flights are due to leave on Wednesday. Their return just as uncertain as the pandemic that has touched every nation. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Stay close. We've got more right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. When a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours, you should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television or radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and keep children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and a car tank full of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds up to 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables in a waterproof container and store them on the highest floor in your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge, as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hey, long time no see. You hear me?
Long time no see.
Boiled fish, stew conch. I love it all.
Tourists come here to take our tours, experience our sun, sand, and sea, and they also spend money around town.
I used to see a bunch of hogfish around here, but nowadays, I hardly see any. You protect one area, the fish do their thing, make a bunch of babies, that spread all over the sea. What's the problem?
If we protect certain parts of our sea, it keeps all parts working right.
I was against that phase, but knowing what I know now, I totally agree with having marine protected areas.
I support marine protected areas.
We support marine protected areas.
Look for Bahamas Protected on Facebook.
Sign the petition. Sign the petition.
To flex those arms and legs in Wednesday's workout session with Natasha Brown.
Natasha Brown has got you with the ultimate fitness. At some point, there is no excuse. Either you want to do everything it takes to make it happen, or you don't. Thank you for joining us for another awesome segment, Downtown and the Ultimate Team. And we've got a powerful, total body athletic Pilates routine just for you to make sure you get closer to becoming your ultimate you. Let's get right to it. Now, remember, we've got 5 different fitness levels. You're watching. Follow Stacy. She's the modified version. If you don't think you can keep up with any of the other persons, we're getting now right into walkout. So you want to make sure your environment is clean, and if you're going to use a mat, make sure you're standing at the end of your mat. We're going to do walkouts for 10. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9, and 10. Now make your way to the top of your mat. What we're going to do, we have now switched the walkout. We're going to do reverse walkout into a push-up for 10. We're only going to take 2 strong steps to the back and then 2 strong steps forward. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shoulder taps again for 10. Ready? Let's take it down into a plank position. Alternating toes. Ready? Go. Shoulder taps. 1. 1, and then you got it. Ready. You want to start on that dominant foot. You're going to push off, land on the opposite leg, push off the opposite leg, and land on the other leg. Ready. We've got 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hope you are having an awesome time like we are. Our final exercise now is going to take us into reverse plank with a forward jump into a squat. We're only going to do this for 5 times. Ready? Here we go. So now you're going to stand at the top of your mat and you're going to jump back again. Watch Stacey because she's going to do the modified worship. Ready? Let's go. Jump. Walk in. Ready? That's 1. Jump back. Walk in. 2. Jump back. Walk in. 3. Jump back. Walk in. 4. Last one. Jump back. And 5. Guess what? I almost did an alternating toe touch. Until next time, I am Downtown Natasha Brown, keeping you healthy, fit, and energized. See you.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Stop in the name of love before you catch that thing. Take it up, listen to me. You don't want to go nowhere. Stay here. You ain't gonna listen. Oh, you still getting there. You do the chaos. Okay, not a problem. Listen, you're gonna need these masks. Since you have to go, you got to put them on one every hour. And listen to me, you're gonna need some gloves. Blow that up, okay? Put these on, and then you know something. You know what?
they gonna go up your nose. Be parking now, so in 72 hours, or else the Q-tip going up your nose, or you're going in quarantine. You understand? Since you have to go, but be safe. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna stay home and try my best to be safe and hand sanitize. Since you have to go, yeah.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this television station.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ferguson. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight this COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Please practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those who are on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
Let's get it right, Bahamas. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay 6 feet apart. Remember to always practice physical distancing.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and this television station.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
To the ZNS Network, your best choice for local, regional, and international COVID-19 coverage. We are the only station providing you with live radio and television updates throughout the day, giving you up-to-the-minute information. Our coverage continues at 10 on radio and then at 2 on the television network. And just before we go, we would like to send a very special happy birthday to my second father, Gus Lewis, over there in picturesque Harbor Island, celebrating his birthday today. Make it one to remember. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire Morning Edition team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, Bahamas, we all in this together. Oh, yeah, one Bahamas, your Bahamas, my Bahamas. Come on. Hey, this is my Bahamas. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine, oh, mine. Hey, this is my Bahamas. Oh, yeah. Listen, I love my Bahamas. No place I'd rather be.